There we go. Okay. Hopefully, this is going to go smooth. Technology has really been glitching lately, and today seems to be glitching even more than normal.
Oh, I know. It's good to see you, Robbie. Emperor Rex, good to see you. ER Karmadoc, awesome. Still on the generator power, and it's time to fill him up again. Oh my gosh, you'll be listening in. Good, good, good. Be careful out there. Yeah, I hope you're okay. Is it the storms? My goodness sake. Um, and Jen and the birds. I know Mike saw that and he says, "Oh, I wonder if John's in trouble." But no, that's good. He has his own handle. That's great. So, hi, Carol. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. So, when we were on last night, it's like they just cut us off at the end. It was really quite awkward. So, it just seems like the channel's being awkward. Good to see you, K Heads. Our very own KK, Sin Havoc. Renee Matthews, hello, hello, hello. Miss Regina. Oh, Christine Love, good to see you. Yeah, so all the thumbs up and everything, that really, really helps keep us going, allows us to keep doing this and gathering, with a lot of people, and it helps pull other people in too. One thing I noticed when we do work on people, we've worked on a lot of people, the main complaint is they're alone. They're alone. They have no one to talk to. Very rarely do people have a partner they can talk to. Sometimes they do, but not too often. But mostly people are alone. And this is a place where people can come and kind of hang out together for a minute and feel better. And we do things at the end. We set good intentions and we go over a lot of really cool stuff. And you definitely want to see the stuff we have today.
Yeah, there's some fun stuff, and I am so bitten up from bugs from the other day, working in the yard, and it's just all these ticks that people are finding everywhere. I think we took at least half a dozen to a dozen off. The puppies and ourselves the last couple days. We all know they're everywhere, and literally people are saying they're finding boxes loaded with ticks. That's just crazy.
Yeah, I've heard across the United States, people are finding these boxes loaded full of ticks. How would that happen? I don't know why in the world a bunch of ticks would just want to voluntarily crawl in a box and just jump out in somebody's field. It's just so odd.
Yeah, right? No. Again, the reality is these things we know. They're weaponized, they're created.
They just
Yeah, last night they just cut us off. We get that. I have not been able to get a video up in Brightian in several days. So we upload to Brightian 2. And it's been the last 3 days I haven't been able to upload anything. And so much of the time with Brightian, Rumble, and BitChute, the uploads might take 2 or 3 times, especially Brightian. And now I just can't get videos up, and they've been working with me, but they're not making any progress. They don't know why. It's just...
They shrug their shoulders and say, huh?
Yeah, they just shrug their shoulders. There's I could feel it. I could just sense that, they're clamping down more. They are really clamping down more with, the big brotherhood. And there's so much stuff coming out. I mean, like tonight, sharing some stuff with you guys. Yeah, they spray, Max. They spray, but they also use the ticks. They do.
They have this thing coming out. The new.
Yeah, they have a new cure that they have to make sure there's plenty of people that are going to be looking for the new cure for Lyme's. And I had back case of Lyme's like 20 something years ago, and it was brutal. And then recently I had a tick on me and Sita had on her, and then Sita got a bad limp, and then I ended up with the appendix issue. So yeah, it's just part of what's going on. They hit us from every angle. Chemtrails, Skydra, Deanna says thick, heavy, and constant. This is in Nashville. Yeah, I'd love to get to Nashville sometime too in the future. Yeah, it's just pretty wild. Comet pan stars. We got all the signs. It's just crazy out there. Did you guys see this? This came out today. We were talking about this video, and then Iran put out a video trying to depict Yeshua coming and knocking 47 down into the pits of fiery hell, apparently.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you notice they both have on the same red cloak, but Trump says over his shoulders, like that tarot card, the magician. I thought that was very, very curious. You know, why is he all dressed up as the magician? And Yeshua, it's the same cloak, but it's the sash is going through the side. I don't know if there's something there, but it feels suspicious.
Everything is suspicious. You have to look at everything with a big suspicious eye. So, yeah, I want to thank everybody, too, for their support on Patreon. Also, everybody's support with YouTube memberships, as that has been growing as well. The other thing, before we get going, I just wanted to mention again something we've been using, which has been boosting our ability to heal ourselves and energize us, and that's LifeWave. So you see LifeWave will be the first link on all the videos, and it goes to our store. We are affiliated with LifeWave. It's really cool technology. It literally is using your body's own light to trigger stem cell activation. Stem cells are so important. And when it comes to your health and rejuvenating yourself, you want to activate your stem cells.
Oh, I know. And, you know, it works across species, too. Asita had a really, really, really bad limp, and I put him on her, and I kid you not, in 2 weeks. I know a lot of you guys remember us talking about that limp she had. She came up with it last summer after she got bit by ticks. Well, it was pretty bad, and I did the patches, and I did it for about 2 weeks, and she's okay. Now, that's not to say they work that quickly for everyone, but they are effective when we use it it's our wellness regimen. It's just part of our regimen now.
Yeah, and we were actually giving her patches that we had already used.
Yeah, I put on her collar.
So we put them on the inside of her collar, and it helped to boost her system. And no more limping and gimping. So check out LifeWave. You know, this this is our beloved Tori. This is something that she watched after a rain, and immediately one thing that comes to my mind is very obvious. I think other people will say this too. This is on the ground. This is on the ground. Wait a minute. I know what this is. I mean, I feel like I know what this is. It's the black goo after a rain in the clouds. What's in the clouds? Well, one of the things that's in the clouds is the black goo. Literally, you know. They told us all about the black goo in the whole Alien series. You know, Prometheus. They told us all about the black goo. They've warned us this is what they do. And this is Missouri after rain on the ground.
Oh my gosh, I know. I mean, doesn't this just give you the chills? She said it looks like some sort of bug, but when you see it, I mean, what comes to mind? And then she went to try to get me another video, you guys, and she's like, oh, my phone won't work anymore. It's all glitching. So her phone locked up. I just thought it was really weird. Thought you guys might want to see that. Ew, it's so gross.
Yeah, catch. Many says stem cells are in your pee after you fast. And yeah, urine therapy is a real thing. It is absolutely. Look at this. I mean, that's a lot that had to come down in the rain. Magnetic. Absolutely. This is total X-Files stuff. Absolutely, Max. It looks like ants. It looks even smaller than ants.
Oh, I know. It looks just like, I don't know why are they doing that? I mean, I've seen bugs do some weird stuff, but usually it's around cell phones. You know, they just kind of act funny. But then there's this. It sure looks like graphene oxide to me. Yeah, and Karma Doc was saying about the patches. You know, some of the people use it on their horses. You know, some of the big, really good, expensive horses, they use those patches on them. So it's just been impressive. Wanted to point that out. But yeah, back to the graphene oxide. Oh my gosh, it's creepy stuff, you guys.
Yeah, graphene oxide, highly conductive, interacts with EM frequencies like FIVEG, ELF waves. How about the data centers? What's going to happen with the data centers turning on? As we know, they spray graphene oxide. It's the main ingredient in nanotech. What's inside a cell phone battery? Graphene oxide. It's always graphene oxide. And the black goo. And it's inside maybe you, maybe me. Dental aesthetics. They have it in them too. And it's just everywhere. Everywhere you look. The black goo. The black goo. The black goo. Yeah. The black goo. They're trying to get in you. Yep. It's in the rainwater in Missouri, which means probably the rainwater everywhere.
Well, yeah, I mean, it would be everywhere. So, yeah, this was just creepy. But you can't go have your teeth worked on anymore without having that stuff pumped in you. So we got to get good at detoxing, definitely detoxing. The big freeze. Karma Doc says the big freeze in Texas a few years ago. I put ice in the microwave and it yielded black water. Ew. Ew. That's just creepy. It doesn't surprise me though. Yeah.
This is why you also have to make sure your frequency is very high because, the guides have said that we will end up frying out and short-circuiting all their technologies, and I hope this is included. So very, very disconcerting. Very, very disconcerting, to say the least. Okay, want to hear something pretty creepy?
Volume up.
This is from Karma Doc, by the way. This is Michigan. Listen to this. This is during a storm, just building at night. I mean, seriously, you walk out and you hear that? I tell you, that's creepy, and it reminded me, too, of, like, the clicking in the Steven Spielberg New Aliens movie.
I know. It's like she was out there talking to her own personal creature there, having a conversation. But, yeah, that was a pretty wild. Definitely send me that other one, too, Renee. That was just a lot of fun. I really did enjoy that kind of disturbing in a disturbing kind of way.
Yeah, it's very intriguing. It's like you're terrified, but you still just got to stand there and listen. Meanwhile, Pentagon ramping up planning for possible military ops in Cuba. I think everybody knows it's coming. I think the question is, will the U.S. be hit in such a manner that it doesn't get a chance to go into Cuba? And I really only say that because of my own dreams and visions, because I felt that we did get invaded through Cuba. But who knows? Maybe we start going in there, and then that area is contested, and it ends up with them utilizing that to stage an invasion of us. But anyway, he said it himself.
Cuba's a failing nation, and we're going to do this, and we may stop by Cuba after we're finished with this. But Cuba is a nation that was just been horribly run for many years by Castro.
Oh, you mean by Trudeau's dad? Yeah, okay. Yeah, here you go.
You know what Trump reminds me of? He reminds me of someone who talks like he knows that this is a hologram of sorts. He talks like as if he knows this is just, some kind of grand illusion, nothing's real, Yeah. But I just want to say that the time we do spend in these bodies is very important. So when we use the word illusion, I think it's like a little bit misplaced there. But that's how he talks, isn't it? Like he's just got his VR headset on and he knows it's a VR headset game. Like, we're just going to take Cuba, no big deal,
Yeah, very much so. I do agree with that. We know it's kind of coming. We do. Another warehouse fire. This was Compton, California. 7th one in a week. I think there's more than that even. Can't keep up with them. This is the Viva Energy Refinery, one of only 2 operational refineries in Australia. Processes 120,000 barrels of oil a day. That's on fire too. And then we had this I-71 crash, 12-vehicle crash, including a semi that caught fire in Delaware County, Ohio. I used to live in this area. I don't know what's going on here. A lot of people are obviously not doing so well. A lot of people are, at the very least, they have their minds elsewhere. They're worried. They're maybe not feeling good. There's a lot of choices that were done like 6 years ago that might still be playing in people's minds and also their physical bodies. Not that everything is related to that, but there's a lot of things going on and have been going on for a very long time. Just so we're talking about the black goo, about the ticks, about the weaponization of it seems just about everything. It's really disconcerting. Meta is building 10 gas-fired power plants for its Hyperion AI data center in Louisiana. They will use as much power as 5 million American homes. There's like 5 million people in Louisiana itself. So, more power than the entire state of Louisiana. And it's going to pollute the equivalent of 5+ million cars on the road. And these are the same people that tell you don't drive or run your AC because of climate change. And then they do a million times worse. So Hyperion is a massive AI-optimized data center under construction in Richland Parish, Louisiana. Designed to become the world's largest AI facility with a target capacity of 5 gigawatts. By 2030, the project spans an expanding site of 3,650 acres, with a recent 1,400-acre acquisition featuring over 4 million square feet of building space and up to 9 planned structures. This is in a very, very rural area, too, by the way. We know this area really well. And you can see it here. You can see Vicksburg, famous Civil War battle area. Mississippi right there, the Mississippi River, Delhi and Monroe, and it's right in the middle. So this is not far, really. It's just south of Poverty Point, just due south. So it's going to create 500 operational jobs, employ up to 5,000 construction workers at peak. But it has it's basically caused 600% increase in traffic-related crashes in nearby Holly Ridge. Again, this is a very rural farming area. That's what this is. And they're putting this gigantic complex there.
And they're going to be putting them everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. And they're just making this world so polluted. Renee says Oracle AI in Abilene is putting in a 3-foot diameter natural gas line from Pecos, Texas, and what is going to happen there. So yeah, looking at the earthquake, seeing what's up with that. I know a lot of people haven't been feeling very well today. Tsunami alert. I don't know. I don't see anything major. Don't see anything at the moment, but who knows? Something could come up, but we could check a couple different places here and see. I think the planetary alignments are kind of in alignment to create a big mess this week, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something kind of major happening. But yeah, I mean, this world they're just setting us up to have everything crumble. It's super chaotic, Yeah, Oracle Investments is run by Ellison, who's connected to Peter Thiel, who runs Palantir, right? It's just everything. Yeah. We don't see anything there at the moment.
Yeah, and in fact, it's barren over here. There's nothing in Kamchatka. There's just this one quake over here, 4.4 in Russia on the other side of Japan. So it's very quiet over in this area right now. Very curious, as is the black goo and everything else that's going on. There we go. Starting in 2026, all new cars in the U.S. will track your eye movements, face, head position, attention, drowsiness, and behavior to decide whether you're fit to drive. Don't worry, it's for your safety. Have a nice day, your benevolent overlords. Good morning, slaves. You're late for work.
So if you're a little tired because you've been up with the baby all night or something like that, or, who knows, so many other things happen. Now that they'll have the cars, they'll all be electric and they'll all be tied to your cell phone, which will be then tied to all of these cameras. They could just hit the button and say, no, we're going to just drive you right back home. How do we like them apples?
Yeah. So Nina, I didn't see anything about the Russian earthquake. It's Beyond Truth 33.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, I didn't hear anything about that. But anyway, I would check it all the time. Do you ever know what the dollar bill looked like before the Federal Reserve, again, before 1913? It was very different. Look at what we have prior. Just simple. United States of America, $1. There's no, there's no pyramid with the all-seeing eye. There's no New World Order. There's Novus Ordo Seclorum. It's very different. It's very plain. It doesn't have all the Masonic markings on it. Isn't that interesting?
How about that? I don't know about the $2 bills. I wonder what they have. Those were really fun to get. The $2 bills were fun to always get for kids for Christmas. But yeah, it would be fun to have one of these $1 bills, wouldn't it? Just to explore and look at.
Yeah, again, this tells you exactly what's going on, that, with total hijacking again by the secret societies, as they do, and always working their plans. Pentagon accused of cover-up after missing the deadline on 46 military UAP videos. Yep, they came under fire for failing to meet a congressional deadline to release dozens of military videos showing unidentified aerial phenomena, sparking fresh claims of a bureaucratic stall on one of the most sensitive national security issues in decades. So, it was, again, Representative Anna Paulina Luna from Florida had pressed Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth to deliver 46 specific clips by April 14th. It didn't happen. Some of them were also the really fascinating one in the Afghanistan's area. A lot of Tic Tac ones as well. We still have so much that has been given out Yet at the same time, you still see them hiding things. This was interesting. A massive out-of-place anomaly spotted in Antarctica. So they probably covered it up because you have to go back and roll the settings on Google Earth back to 2004 in order to have this show up, because it gets wiped out after. It certainly looks odd. This is an anomaly. I mean, what do you guys see? Look at how smooth. Look at the straight lines. It doesn't look like anything natural. There's something manufactured under that ice and snow. Looks, I don't know. Is it some sort of opening?
You know what it looks like? It looks like one of those old Airstreams, those big silver things is just parked there with some cellophane over it. It does. It looks camouflaged for sure.
Cigar shapes.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It could be like a landing place for one of those or several of those. I don't think those are natural for even 1 second. That's part of a tunnel. That's part of an entrance. That's part of where people go in there and they work on things. It just feels very like if you were to walk in a big hangar where people are working on airplanes. That's what I see when I look in there. That's what I see. And I see them working on all kinds of different craft. It's not normal for planes. I'm seeing that it's not normal for planes to go in there, but if you were to go in there, you would see all kinds of weird different crafts, and people get trained to work on them, and then they go out there and they work on them, and then that's what they do.
So who do you see in there? Is it U.S. military, or is it some others?
I see a conglomerate, so I don't see it's just U.S. I don't think it's just Russia. I don't think it's just China. I see a conglomerate of people, and I see different beings too. So
What
this
beings
is
look like?
they're a little bit shorter than us, and they're smaller, and they're more agile, and they're smarter, and they
grays?
know it. Not quite grays. They seem a little different than grays, more like a tan color, more like a fleshy kind of color these beings have. But they also wear suits because the suits are required for their craft.
Oh, okay. So, are they from elsewhere? Do you feel, or are they inner Earth beings, or?
No, they're here. They're here. They're
here.
not from extra anywhere, but they do know about different places here to be, and they have a much bigger understanding of the world that we live in than we do. So they're the ones that are more in the know than we are, and they have a air of superiority to them. They kind of carry themselves a little bit snooty.
A little snooty. So, yeah, this is definitely something that looks artificial, and it is covered up, but if you go back to 2004, you could still see it. And there did look to be some other interesting things in the area. Actually, you know what happens when you look to today's date? It puts you out into the water. So it's kind of like they really shifted the whole thing. And again, another attempt to hide. So, like, if I go up here, I'm not sure if it's going to show the same. If I zoom in, no, there's nothing now. It's just blank. So, and you have the little Google thing. So you have to go back. You go back 2004, and it's there. So, an obvious cover up. And that's why they always try to cover up our numbers.
Yeah, I know. They keep us little. They keep us small. Yeah. So, but anyhow, you guys, we appreciate your support for this very reason.
Sin Havoc says they're probably from Agartha. Yeah, maybe something like that. Does that feel right, sweetie? Agartha, Shambhala, Shangri-La?
Yes, somebody says, oh, snooty tooty. Yes, they are. They have this air of superiority, like they think they know better. So they probably do, I mean, they're obviously in a better place than we are.
Here you have one that was filmed in southern Italy in 2003. Again, it's overwhelming. And most of what we see may not be from other planets. Most of it, maybe, again, beings that have been here as long as we've been alive. And again, our entire lifespan might be just like equal to a day of some of these beings. Oh, there's this in Antarctica too. This one didn't do any research on, but it looks to be something, I don't know, a little anomalous. It's just kind of sitting there. It looks like there's nothing but cliffs, snow, and something. Yeah. Now that could also be some sort of building, like an arch and a little bit of an entryway.
Big.
Yeah, 44 feet. Maybe it's just an entryway down and inside or something.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty good size, something just is sitting there.
Okay. Well, it's interesting stuff. There's so much out there. This is a famous 19th century UFO account known as the Alexander Hamilton airship encounter from April of 1897. According to the story, a Kansas farmer claimed to have witnessed a large cigar-shaped airship piloted by strange beings. I do remember that story. So it was cigar-shaped, but it was in that era where you had a lot of dirigible type things, floating type things that seemed like maybe they were more inclined to be powered by helium or something like that. More like the Zeppelins and stuff. Now this one though was cylindrical, and when Cindy's talking about beings that we don't automatically have a classification for, there are some accounts of people seeing strange beings that were humanoid, actually manning these, but definitely not us, not Homo sapiens sapiens, but something human-ish, but definitely not us.
I'm picking up a while back, back in like 1700s, 1800s, they knew that they had to leave for a little while. So it took them a minute to get out of sight of other human beings. And they stayed out of sight up until recently, with the minor sighting here and there. But now they're kind of back all over the place. And I'm really picking up in the next few months. We're going to be seeing like more beings, these different looking beings, and there's going to be more stuff caught on camera. Now, some of this is controlled opposition, but some of it's not. You don't want to just discount everything because they're doing this control thing. I mean, some of these are going to be legitimate sightings.
Yeah, and we think about, we have a lot of sightings kind of like that today, and here is another cigar-shaped UFO. I think this one was South America too. There's so many of them. This is Brazil. But this one's more like one of those glowing rods that you hear described. Does this feel plasma-ish to you, or what does this feel?
It does feel plasma-ish, but there's just some sort of solidity about it that it feels a little awkward there.
It looks like it has an energy field around it. Everything does, but you could see the energy field around it. It's pretty cool. How about this? This is, is this just a joke? This is supposed to be an ancient coin found in Egypt. Well, maybe, because in the old days, they did walk amongst us. It really has only been for a very small period of time that we haven't known officially that there were other very intelligent beings, more intelligent than us. Yeah, and, again, in this world, that's not always saying a lot, unfortunately. But that there were beings that had advanced technology, advanced knowledge that were here too. And, again, only just for a very small period of time have we not known this. And obviously that includes our lives. But now we're in a new era, new age.
A lot of new stuff coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. As we're back to 108, that's a sacred number. Here you have a UFO parked above the Pyramid of the Sun in Teotihuacan. Sacred spots, yeah. They make a lot of appearances in sacred areas. Because again, it's energy fields that make these areas sacred. And when we put a lot of focus and a lot of attention into a certain area, even if it wasn't sacred, after a long period of time with many people coming, visiting, putting their energy, adding their energy to something, it builds an energetic foundation and a wave that stays there.
Energy is so very, very interesting. I do enjoy it. I did learn a lot when I learned my biofield tuning about how people can just walk into, you could have someone arguing with their partner in a store or at a park, and when they leave that area, the argument is still there. So you get an empath that walks through that wave of energy that was an argument, and next thing they know, if they don't know that they're an empath, they go home and they argue with their partner too. I mean, that's just how it is. So when you have these feelings and emotions, realize they might not be yours, and don't forget the technology out there. The technology out there can absolutely tap in to you. So when we're reacting to things, just wait a minute, stop a minute if you feel reactive, and ask, where is that coming from? Because that's a real thing.
I think that there may even be differences in different countries because of who is in control of different countries with who can actually show themselves. Does that feel right to you?
It could.
Yeah, because again, these countries we only have them as countries because they were divided by other beings than Homo sapiens sapiens. And, the different gods or the sons of the gods took tribes to be their own, to, lord over, so to speak. So I think you might have different groups being seen in different areas. Again, I think there's a lot of triangles seen in the U.S., for instance. But here you go. These are some triangles. This one, this was the U.S. This was Washington State, by the way. Maybe this is over in KK's backyard. And
She sees a lot of stuff.
this other one was Colombia. It's just wild. This was Colombia, too, by a pilot. I remember showing this before. That's pretty wild. It looks like the plane's basically standing still, and then this comes flying by. That's really wild.
I mean, what do you think about that? It just comes right out of the clouds and goes right by him, and this happens all the time. I mean, what kind of little creatures are in there?
And they didn't hit him, so,
That's
again,
nice.
they're not aggressive. They're not, ramming our planes and things like that. But they are getting close enough for us to see.
They could be angry enough now. They could start throwing batteries out their window at planes.
As long as they don't throw a nanu, no black goo. We have, unfortunately, our own military doing that. And DARPA, absolutely. 1889, well drillers in Idaho pulled this tiny clay figure from 300 feet underground, right beneath a prehistoric lava cap. That specific geological depth points to a stratum roughly 2 million years old. How long has life been here? I think very, very long time, because before the Earth was reborn as the Earth, it was Tiamat.
Well, it's been a lot of things, it's been ongoing for so long. And I think it's, a lot of people want to know, well, when did things start? But that's more of a human emotion, to have the desire to know when something started.
In other words, it always has been, because again, the planets are occupied by consciousness in many different forms, many different units of consciousness. So, there's always been life, really. It's cyclical, too. And this is, again, where in the Hindu tradition, we find a lot of wisdom, really, about the cyclical nature of consciousness and creation. And the two are intertwined because, again, we are consciousness itself. As Cindy was saying, it's really a blessing. It might not always seem like it. especially when you have a toothache or a ruptured disc, to be in a body. But it is a blessing because it's not our all the time state of being. Usually we're not in a body. It's a blessing to be in the body and have these heavier experiences.
The way that I view it is when you are not in the body, you are a viewer, you are watching, but it's not until you take a body that you come in here and you take a body that you participate. So that's not to say, though, that we can't have our guides and angels and ancestors and our family and everyone else that's from, the different dimensions. They can absolutely help us. But here is like the full force of participation.
It's like you're going to the amusement park, right? And you step into that line, and it might take an hour to get to go on the ride that lasts 2 minutes. Well, life is that ride that lasts 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's the difference between watching the ride and riding the ride.
That's exactly what it is. So, again, it's to be cherished and to be enjoyed and to learn and grow with it. Thousands, tens of thousands of bees suddenly swarmed across parts of Israel, prompting authorities to warn residents and shop owners to keep doors and windows closed. What do you think this has to do with? Some sort of frequency out there? Is nature mad at the way things are going with the nonstop wars and conquests out there?
Yeah, I don't know about all those bugs. That's a lot of bugs.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Sin Havoc says Earth is named after Enki. Enki was Ea, and then became Enki, and of course the Ea from Earth. But again, other traditions have other names, for the Earth itself. But the oldest that I know of is again in reference to Tiamat. Speaking about bees, they are pollinating consciousness, not just flowers. Every hum of a bee is a scalar wave, a living sound code in training with the Earth's Schumann resonance, our planet's heartbeat. Their wing beat frequency, 190 to 250 hertz, generates torsion fields that reset distortion in the land, literally tuning Earth's energy grid back to harmony. Bees are mobile tuning forks. That's one of Cindy's main tools is tuning forks. They don't just make honey, they stabilize ley lines, restore coherence, and show us what non-competitive group consciousness looks like. The hive is a living fractal of unity. When bees thrive, humanity thrives. When they collapse, planetary harmony destabilizes. Weather, water, memory, even human behavior patterns fragment. Message is clear. Return to harmony or the hive collapses. Humanity is the hive. Will we listen? So is this a message to Israel that its leadership needs to change its ways, needs to step down, beg forgiveness? Again, obviously crimes against humanity has been done. Crimes against the planet. The whole system, the whole way of life that this system has given us. Nonstop wars, viewing everybody in a competitive sense instead of in a coherent way. It's just got to go. It will go, but if you force Mother Nature to do it, it's gonna be a mess.
Mm-hmm. It is, and the vibration is so fascinating, and that's why I love working with tuning forks. It's vibration, and cats too. When cats purr, it's been proven that they can heal bone faster. So if you have like a broken bone, you want to make sure your kitty is cuddled up purring on your lap, and that's really going to help you. I mean, this is really profound with the bees, and I think it's very, very important, our species on this earth, and it makes sense that they're hitting them so hard too. There's just not as many bees. I don't know if you guys on long road trips, the windshield on my car out in the desert where there shouldn't be too much life was always had a lot of bugs at the end of my road trip, but not now. I go driving out in that desert and I can drive for hundreds and hundreds of miles and there's not hardly one insect on the windshield. What does that tell you? That's a concern. I know that's kind of a gross thing to say, but it's true. I mean, it's true. Insects used to hit the windshield. I just don't see that anymore.
Yeah, and you don't see this every day. A dog getting a massage by a cow.
That is sweet. I'm sure they have some type of, agreement, and maybe dog chews on the ankles of the cow to help him scratch his ankles. There's got to be some type of energetic give and take there.
Maybe the dog helps get those nasty black flies away. So Cindy gonna give us a ding here. Loka samasta sugi no bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free, and may my thoughts, words, actions, and deeds contribute to their happiness and their freedom. May that be our prayer out there, because if we can manifest that, then everything's going to be okay.
All right, you guys, here we go. Let's set some good intentions, and here's the dings. Here we go. Source bless and namaste.
Thank you guys so much. Much love, Source bless, and namaste.